Jai Shri Ram. In the Uddhava Gita, Sri Krishna answers a question posed by Uddhava. Uddhava asked Krishna, how should we worship you? So, Krishna launched into a small lecture which runs into how many 50 or 49 shlokas. But that was a conversation, isn't it? So we are reading it in the form of shlokas. So Krishna said something amazing, mind blowing. Now please listen to the first three only in this. Shri Bhagavan Vacha Dharma Yesha Tava Prashno Dharma Yesha Tava Prashno Naishreyasa Karo Nrunam, which means your question is conducive to Naishreyasa, that means moksha, samambonam, redemption. That means your question, O Uddhava, is a wonderful question. It's a good question because the answer to this will be conducive to moksha for all humans. So Krishna is addressing all humans and thanking Uddhava for having asked this question. And then what is the next line? Varnashrama acharavatam tam Uddhava nibodhame. So I will now tell you about Varnashrama. So Krishna is talking about Varnashrama. Now let us see. I am going to read only the first three here. Adau kruta yuge varno nrunam hamsa iti smrutaha kritakrityaha praja jatya tasmat krutayugam viduhu. Krishna said in the beginning, in the Krita or Satya Yuga, men had only one caste. Now this word caste does not exist in Hinduism, okay? In Hinduism we have Varna, Jati, Kula and Gotra. Jati, Varna, Kula, Gotra. Caste is a Portuguese word imposed on us by the Britishers, and now it has become so entrenched that we are also using it. And unfortunately in this congenitally impotent language English, they have to steal words from everywhere else. So they should actually start using, English people and English dictionary must start using the Hindu words. They can appropriate these words also, no problem. The words are Jati, Kula, Varna and Gotra. So Jati is the lineage, Kula is the family profession, Varna is the psychological temperament, Gotra is the descent from a common male ancestor, which is the Y chromosome being transmitted, which is necessary for us to know whom to marry. Otherwise, if you end up marrying your sisters like they do in Islam and Christianity, the progeny will be retarded. Okay, because recessive genes will get together and diseases will get manifested. So our system was purely eugenic based. Eugenics means U means good, good genetics, which means the science of selective breeding to improve the quality of the race. Whereas unfortunately in Christianity and Islam, what they are practicing is nothing but dysgenics. Dysgenics is bad breeding. That means because they marry their own sisters, then the progeny is going to be mentally retarded, or all kinds of diseases will manifest. That will stunt the mental growth also. Okay. So if you refer the Bible also, Abraham or Ibrahim in Islam, Abraham confesses in the Bible that he married his own sister Sarah. Now Abraham explains, as if trying to justify his marrying his sister, he says that Sarah's mother is different, though Sarah's father and Abraham's father are the same. That means Sarah is actually a stepsister. Abraham feels that he is justified in marrying his stepsister, which is again unscientific and conducive to bad breeding. So here Krishna, so anyway, every time this word caste comes up, I find myself compelled to explain why caste does not exist in Hinduism. Unfortunately, many Hindus, especially of the lower stratas of society, have been so colonized mentally that they are of the opinion that somehow they have got a bad deal and they were exploited by the upper castes, because now we have no other option but to use that upper caste. Well, I will concede this much. Exploitation exists in every society. It existed then, now it will be there in the future also, and in every society. So it is perfectly possible that some have exploited some, but to overgeneralize and say that the holy books themselves are supporting it is unacceptable. For the simple reason that the holy books are not saying anything like that at all, right? So, including the Manusmriti, the Vedas, and the Bhagavad Gita, they are truly liberal. Now, listen to what Krishna is saying. Hmm? Krishna is saying, Adau Krutayuge Varno Nrunam Hamsa iti Smrutaha. Krishna did not use the word caste. Varnam. He said Varna, psychological temperament. He said, Krishna says that initially there was only one caste, if you may use that word. That is, all that caste was called Hamsa caste. Krita Kritya Praja Jatya Tasmat Krita Yugam Viduhu. And this one caste, all were called Hamsa. Just imagine, Hamsa caste. Now, the word Hamsa actually means the spiritual swan. That means the swan, which is believed to be capable of separating water and milk in a mixture of water and milk, implying that people are, the Jivatma is called Hamsa actually. Our breathing is called Hamsa mantra. When you breathe in, it sounds like hum, and when you breathe out, it becomes so. So, hum, so. So that means I am he, I am he. And reverse soham, that I am, tattvamasi. This is the Mahavakyas in the Vedas. So Krishna says, people attained the consummation of their desires from their very birth. As soon as they are born, well, they have achieved all desires. So they were desireless, dispassionate, true bhaktas. Hence that age was called Krita. Krita means achieved. That means with birth itself, they have achieved, they end up achieving, consummating all their desires. So they are truly desireless nishkama karmis, karma yogis. So Krishna clearly now says, what did he say? What is the important point here? There was only one caste, Hamsa caste. So today the Dalit or whosoever, there are many people who continuously feel that they have been exploited. Baba, we were all Hamsa at one time, okay? So please listen to Krishna. And don't get carried away by the nonsensical atrocity literature churned out by these Islamic apologists, Marxist rascals, and Christian apologists. So, next Krishna says, Vedaha pranava evagre dharmoham vrusha rupa dhruk upasate taponishtam hamsam mam mukta kilbishaha. What this means is, in that age, in that primeval age, Om was the Veda, and I was the Dharma in the form of a bull. And the people of that age who were pure and given to contemplation used to reflect on me, the pure one. So here Krishna is again asserting that Vedas were not yet born in the Satya Yuga. Vedas were not born. Vedas were born in the Treta Yuga. So now reflect on these points. See, some rascals will say, how do you know that Krishna himself is saying this? This kind of nonsensical talk is futile wrangling. I don't want to waste my time discussing this. So UDDHAVA Gita, which is a part of the Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishna is directly saying, will they say these kind of things about the Bible and the Quran? What is the proof that Jesus said this? No. So let's not waste time. So Krishna is clearly saying something very sensational here. Hope you are listening carefully. UDDHAVA Gita, I am just going to read it again because now I have already explained it. And this should lead you to think and ask questions and muse over and ponder and intuit about what the situation must have been like at that time. And so how we should feel about the existing dispensation, existing situation, isn't it? So there were no castes, damn it. So Sri Bhagavan Vacha, Dharmya, धर्म्य एष तव प्रश्नो नैश्रेयसकरो नृणाम् Nuna means humans, people. Varnashrama acharavatam tamuddhava nibodhame. Uddhava, I am going to tell you. Adau krutayuge varno nrunam hamsa iti smrutaha. So there was only one caste called the Hamsa caste. Kritakrityaha praja jatya tasmat krutayugam viduhu. Because as soon as they were born, all their desires were satisfied, and so they led lives of purity, no selfishness at all. And that is why everything having been achieved by the very act of being born, that age itself was called Krita Yuga, achieved. Then Sri Krishna is saying, Vedaha Pranava Evagre. Evagre Vedaha Pranava. Om was the Veda. Veda was not there at all. Only Om was the Veda. Dharmoham Vrusharupa Dhruk. And I was worshipped as Dharma in the form of a Rishabha. Well, that's a metaphor again for a bull. Upasate Taponishtam. So people were Taponishta. Tapo means, tapas means austerity. Nishta means dedication. So people were dedicated to a life of austerity. And they used to worship me. Hamsam, Mam, Mukta Kilbisha. Kilbisha means sin, Papa. And the people of that age who were pure and given to contemplation used to reflect on me, the pure one. So Hamsam Mam. Hamsa means the pure one. In fact, Jivatma is called Hamsa and Krishna is Paramahamsa. And we can all become Paramahamsa like Ramakrishna Paramahamsa. When you become Paramahamsa, you will acquire such virtues which are indescribable. There will be agape. Agape is unconditional love for everyone, including enemies. Agape, A-G-A-P. Agape is the English word for unconditional love, which is what Krishna or Rama has for all mankind. Not in the other religions there is no agape, though they might claim. Because in the other religions, whether Christianity or Islam, to be very clear and specific, both these religions are extremely predatory in the sense that their fundamental understanding is that only people of their religion will go to heaven. Others have to be either converted or killed. So this is very clear. So let us not get carried away by the atrocity literature churned out by these people with this hidden agenda to denigrate Hinduism and ensure that Hindus develop a hatred for Hinduism itself, and so that they can be easily converted. And as a result of this stratagem, they have managed to convert a sizable number of Hindus into these two religions. Jai Shri Ram.